Mike, I wanted to know what goes into decision-making when you call up a prospect. Everybody wants to see Victor Robles play. We've heard a lot about him. He's not starting every game. What is the discussion there? Is it ultimately just on the manager to decide, or is there a discussion from higher up that says, hey, you need to play this guy because we want to see what he has in the future?
Like on all personnel decisions, to call up and the plan for him is a discussion that we have that Davey and I have before we make the decision. But once he gets there, it's a manager's decision. But what the Victor Robles situation is that we want him in the big leagues this year. Now this guy missed 3.5 months, 4 months of baseball. He's still in kind of spring training mode. You see his swing isn't as smooth as it was last year when he brought him up. And we just wanted him to be mostly around the team in the big leagues to get accustomed to his teammates and the ways of how we do things, and for Davey and the staff to get their arms around him and to be around him for a month. That was the primarily the reason for Victor to come up. And we're excited to see him play. He's going to play winter ball this year to make up those extra at bats and see if he can catch up, and he'll be 100% ready to go in spring training.
Can you give us any further details on any talks you guys are having with Boris about Bryce, or is that just going to be something that happens at the end of the year?
Well, that's going to happen between the Boris camp and our camp, and we won't discuss it until there's something to announce.
Okay.
But I mean, there are ongoing. I mean, you guys are in communication. It doesn't mean that you're negotiating, but you guys are in sort of communication.
Oh yeah, we're in constant communication with Bryce and with his camp and with Boris, and we've got a lot of business that we do with Boris Corporation, and we're suffice it to say that we talk quite a bit about a lot of players on their team.
Let me ask you this. Obviously, you're not going to tell us the status. I get it. That's cool. But I wonder, Mike, do you know in the back of your head, do you think you know how this is going to play out? I'm not asking you to tell me how it's going to play out, but do you know in the back of your mind, or is it still kind of totally up in the air?
Well, I think it's up in the air. It's a negotiation, and it's a discussion at this point. So they like to be here. But it's got to work out. It's got to work for both parties. So
right.
Bryce has to be comfortable here, and we have to be comfortable that it fits into our model of what we're trying to do long term, and the ability to put players around him, and a lot of things go into it. Like I said before, it's a complicated negotiation and discussion and planning stages and that type of thing. But we love Harp. I love him personally and professionally, and of course we'd love to see him here long term.
Is it safe to say, if you guys do come to an agreement, which would be great, that obviously, I mean, you would have just so many outfielders that you would have to make another move? Not to say who, but that would trigger another move, right?
Well, you're getting way ahead of yourself right there. So after we do this, the hypothetical. We'll be in really good position to do a lot of things, and
right.
and having too many good outfielders that have options and different things is a good thing. So we'll figure that part of it out.
Right.
At the end of the year, when you kind of make up a list of the reasons why you guys didn't make the postseason, what do you think the number one reason would be?
I don't know, but we're gonna, we do that exercise. We autopsy each and every season, and we'll come up with a battle plan for 19. And I think that a big part of it is the health status of our key players when they were hurt. The group of people hurt at the same time, and then how we filled in with different depth pieces to make it through, and that type of thing. But we'll have a lot more information after the season. Right now we're grinding out every game, trying to win every game down the stretch, and see where it takes us.
By the way, Soto had another great day yesterday. He made an unbelievable catch there in that first game and then hit the bombs in the second. Has he surpassed what you expected for him this year?
I think defensively he certainly has in left field. He's getting better and better each and every time he plays. Again, I've said it before. We brought this 19-year-old player up with 8 games above the A-ball level, and then put him in a new position in learning it in the big leagues. It's a remarkable that he could play as well as he can defensively in left field after never playing it before, and we commend him for the hard work he puts in on the defensive end of it. Offensively, we felt that we had a special offensive player here that needed some reps and some work at other parts of his game, base running and defense and that type of thing. But we thought that this guy was going to hit with power and be a good offensive force for us. Is remarkable and historic. So I would say, yeah, he's exceeded my expectations and my hopes in this very short career, because he's like the best 19-year-old player that's ever played. So I couldn't have expected that much out of him.